We have a special guest with us right now. It's a surprise guest. I didn't even know he was coming on. It is Baylor head coach Scott Drew. Scott, I got Jeff Goodman here with me. I got Chris Mack here with me. And let me ask you this. So Mac told us that he went fishing yesterday for 6 hours and didn't get a single bite. I know you're a bass fishing guy. Can you please give this man some tips, because he is struggling over there?
Mac Attack, it's great to see you, my man.
What's up,
Hey,
Scott?
thanks for wearing the Adam Flagler t-shirt tonight. I love that. Hey, it's great seeing you, Jeff and Rob. So I will definitely, after season, love to come down and help you out with that fishing stuff.
He doesn't like to give tips. He just likes to show pictures of all the bass he caught during recruiting.
You can airbrush a lot of big fish in them.
Scott, give us first of all the big news of the night, not just the win over Oklahoma, which you pulled away late. Congratulations! Anytime you can get a Big 12 win this year, you're celebrating.
Yeah.
How about Jonathan Tchamwa Tchatchoua and his 3-point shooting? What is going on? First of all, giving him the green light, number one. Second of all, him draining threes since he's been back. What is going on?
Well, when you shoot 1 million of them in rehab, you deserve to shoot them in a game. So, and Jeff, you've been here, you've met him. Rob, I don't know if you've spent time with him. I know Mac Attack knows in coaching, all coaches know who the special guys are. And what I mean special, just unbelievable workers, great teammates. Like, I promise, if there were 13 of them, everybody would coach. And they would love that team. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, so happy for him. I tell you what, when you're coaching and you're a parent and they call a foul on your son, you get a little more mad. Like when they call a foul on John, I just get a little more mad. Like, hey, that's John. Like, give him a break. All right. You know what he's gone through? The guy's lucky to walk. I mean, but anyway, I know who you want for the Super Bowl, Jeff. And I know you're obviously Hugs must be sending you a case of moonshine for wearing that hat.
Listen, all right. Number one, I am rooting for Hugs to get in the NCAA tournament this year. I am, because who knows when Hugs is going to be done. He's almost 70. So I will admit I'm rooting. And number two, if you can tell me whose jersey this was, I will buy you dinners every night I see you in July on the road.
Yeah, I got no clue.
Mac didn't know either. You guys are my age. Wilbert Montgomery.
Really?
Come on.
I do know that. Yeah. I mean,
Mac
I
had
think
no
I had
idea.
his football card.
Mac doesn't even know his name.
Mac roots for the Bengals. I don't
does
care
root
about
for
the
them.
NFC.
All right, Scott, talk to me a little bit. Or go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to ask about big fella. John, obviously he's back for you. How much is he practicing? How much, what are you doing between games where fans don't see? Because obviously he's had a long road to get to this point.
Yeah. I can tell you that it was within the first week of his injury. I looked down in the practice gym. He's on a stool, got his leg in a big brace, and he's doing form shooting 1 foot from the rim. And I mean, like, are you serious? I mean, just special. But he's been in November doing some limited stuff. December, he started practicing more, but he's always been with the scout team.
Right.
Because, and that's really helped our team. I thought when we started out, mid-December is when he started doing a lot more. But when we started out 0-3 in conference, that's when he was going full practices and every rep, and it made us tougher, more physical. But it's always been with the scout team.
Right.
So, like, when he said he's ready to go and the doctors cleared him, it's great. But there's two things I do know. One, it takes time to develop chemistry, and there's so many new players on our team, just like every team, from Caleb to Jalen to Josh to Langston to Keontae, and that timing is going to take some time. The second thing is, remember, Baylor is the only school to ever not have a non-conference. And I can tell you, if you come back when we did in conference, and he's even come back after that, I use the best analogy is Texas. We got 75-mile-an-hour speed limits. So everyone's going getting on the freeway and you're going 40, 50, 60. It takes time. And that's what the non-conference does, get you up to speed. So like John, this next couple of weeks going to be huge to get rhythm, figure things out. Jeff, you can't go 75. You guys get stuck in traffic where you're at, but that's
Very
Well,
true.
hey, Scott, my sources have told me that you don't really pay attention to those speed limit signs anyway. So
He can't drive. He's a terrible driver. He knows it. His wife doesn't even want him driving.
hey, Scott, let me ask you this. I think when someone has an injury like John's was, I think the hardest part is the mental aspect of it, right? Where all of a sudden you go from competing with the team to now you got to sit out. You don't know if you're ever going to be able to play this thing, this sport, do this thing that you've put your entire life into, right? So how did you guys help him with that? I can't imagine it was easy for him to deal with.
Yeah. So I learned this from Dennis Lindsay used to be a GM for the Jazz. Said anyone that they had with a long 6 weeks or more, the mental part, especially 6 months or more, was more important at the end than the physical. And we have some people on campus that have helped them, but we also got a specialist to help them. And that is, if I could pass anything out to other coaches nowadays, we understand mental health, mental awareness, but I'm just telling you that for anyone coming back from an ACL or an injury like that, if you could get them with a specialist, someone deals with professional athletes coming back from that, it's really helpful.
Hey, Scott, I just wrote a story about Zach Edey yesterday, and I know you guys would have had him if his mother didn't.
We couldn't afford Zach. There's not enough food in Texas to feed Zach. All right. We went, and I'm just telling you guys, it was amazing. I have never seen this like nonstop. Like it was a steady pace, 2-3 hours. It just kept going. And that was every meal. Like we got done. I'm like, I don't know how we could pay for him. So I'm sure West Lafayette, they're doing a good job, but he's a great kid. So happy for his success. Great family. You should see his hockey outfit. They don't usually make them for the guys like that, but his last one was pretty big.
How about this, Scott? He still can't get a pair of size 20s from Nike. He's got one pair from the summer, and that's it. And it's been discontinued. Phil Knight, can we get another pair? The kid's the National Player of the Year right now. Come on, what are we doing?
Well, I can tell you, there's perks to being our size.
Speak for yourself. I got size 15.
Yeah.
All right,
you got size what?
15.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got clown feet, Scott. He's got clown feet. Hey, last one I got for you, and then I'll let you go celebrate the win. Keontae George, coming as a freshman, had a big impact. It's never easy for freshman guards to make that transition. How has he kind of, is this what you expected out of him, this level of player?
Well, there were two things that we knew he was a great talent, but two things we really liked. One, he wanted to get better. He wanted to get coached. And a lot of times you get highly touted guys that are more about, they come in, my numbers, I'm out in 8 months, and it's about that. And he's always been about what the coaches want. He tries to please. And then even the better one is he tries to please his teammates. So if you get a talented player that wants to be a great teammate and wants to be coached, you're going to make strides. And one thing, again, I heard Dick Vitale mention it the other night. When we put in this COVID waiver thing, it really, really has hurt the freshmen. And I mean, you look at it like our freshmen that are playing, and our 3 are playing more minutes than I think anybody besides Duke in the country in the Power 5. We got 3 of them, and they're going against 24-year-olds. Like we're playing teams with 3 24-year-olds, like older than G League teams. You're playing 6-year guys. No other freshman has ever had to go up. And when I use the analogy with these 18 or 19-year-olds, what 13 or 14-year-olds beating you? You know what I mean? So like scouts and all them, it's something different because you're not comparing them normally. Chris, it's normally seniors that are going against 4th-year guys. Every once in a while, a 5th year, every once in a while, but never 5th and 6th are the norm. You go through scouting reports, and I mean, you're getting to the second page, and you're lucky if you see a freshman.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, last thing, 1-sentence answer, 1 sentence. For the Baylor Bears to go to the Final Four this year, what has to happen?
I'm going to say injury-free. And the reason is last year, we were 15-0. We lost Jonathan. We lost LJ. And Langston, we lost him at the beginning of the year. So, I mean, that hurt. So there's with the parity nowadays, I'm telling anybody can, I mean, look at, we've had two, last four teams in VCU and UCLA go to the Final Four. Really? I mean, it's true. It's just parity. You know,
good one sentence answer, Scott.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I was gonna say that was a great one sentence. I was really hoping that you were gonna say, "What do you have to do to get to the Final Four? Win 4 games." Thanks,
Yeah,
Jeff.
that's what I was thinking.
I thought you were going to say your defense.
I'm not as smart as you guys. Okay,
defense.
if you're going X and O's after we have our people to work with, definitely, and our defense has improved.
Yep.
Today it didn't. Tonight it didn't. And I go to the psychology of coaching. I mean, OU, you knew you were getting their best effort. Porter's a heck of a coach. They got in foul trouble and struggled at West Virginia. You knew after 2 losses they were coming in. Remember, this same team that was up 31 with a minute 30 to go against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, so you're rooting for West Virginia to get in. I'm rooting for 9 Big 12 or 10 Big 12 teams to get in because it's a monster.
Yep. Listen, Scott, I appreciate the time, man. Thank you for being here. I better get an invite on that fishing trip if you're going out with Mac Attack. Listen, we're going to take a break here. On the other side, we're actually going to talk about North Carolina and Kentucky, like I teased before Scott happened to show up here. So, yeah, we're going to take a break now.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Appreciate
it,
you.
man.
Scott, good to see you, man.
Yeah, have a great night. Thank you.
You too.